Clark's new deal with Nike isn't just another endorsement, it's one of the biggest statements the brand has made in women's basketball history. The company has pledged $28 million over 8 years, making Caitlin the centerpiece of their entire women's hoop strategy. To put that in perspective, Nike is betting that one rookie's influence is worth more than the combined star power of the entire WNBA. When she released her Kobe-inspired fever-colored sneakers earlier in the year, they sold out in minutes, and immediately resold online for nearly double the retail price. Now, with the launch of her personal CC logo, Nike isn't just selling a product, they're selling a brand, the Caitlin Clark brand, something that will live beyond her playing days. The timing of the rollout was both genius and brutal. Clark has been out since July 15th with her groin injury, missing 15 straight games. During that time, the WNBA's ratings didn't just dip, they collapsed. Matchups that had drawn millions of viewers when Clark was on the floor dropped by more than 35% in her absence. The All-Star Game, once touted as a chance to showcase the league's depth, lost over a third of its audience compared to the year before, slipping from 3.4 million viewers to just over 2.1 million. Primetime matchups that networks once bragged about quietly became afterthoughts when Clark wasn't in uniform. Nike, however, understood what the league refused to admit. Clark isn't just another player, she is the engine driving the WNBA's relevance. The economic numbers are staggering. Analysts estimate that Clark generated $52 million in revenue for Iowa during her senior season and $36 million for the city of Indianapolis in her rookie year with the Fever. In 2024 alone, she accounted for more than 26% of the WNBA's entire economic activity, a statistic that no league can afford to ignore. One player, barely into her professional career, has delivered more impact than decades of stars combined. It isn't just about economics though, this is cultural. Caitlin Clark is only the third WNBA player ever to receive a signature shoe. Deal with Nike, joining Aja Wilson and Sabrina Ionescu, but she's the first woman in Nike's history to receive her own logo, putting her in the same conversation as Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. This is the kind of marketing push that turns athletes into global icons, and Nike knows exactly what it's doing. They aren't just betting on her to move sneakers, they're positioning her to redefine women's basketball altogether. The effect on the WNBA has been devastating for players still fighting for recognition. While veterans like Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and others beg for more exposure, Clark has already secured a deal that dwarfs most of their lifetime earnings. And it stings even more when you remember how the league has treated her since she arrived. Instead of protecting their most valuable asset, they let opponents take physical shots at her, dismissed her celebrity as a distraction, and failed to capitalize on her meteoric rise with proper marketing. Now, as Clark heals on the sidelines, Nike has done what the WNBA refused to. They crowned her the face of women's basketball and put resources behind her to prove it. It's not just about sneakers and shirts. This logo drop comes with a larger vision. Nike worked directly with Clark on the design, creating two interwoven C's to represent her connection with fans while embedding a smaller hidden C to symbolize her game being built from the inside out. It's sleek, unisex, and crafted to last, the kind of logo that can appear on everything from performance sneakers to lifestyle apparel. The line will expand into clothing, accessories, and eventually her own signature sneaker in 2026. This isn't just sportswear, it's brand building at its highest level. Meanwhile, the WNBA limps through its most injury-ravaged season in history. Players across the league have already suffered more than 200 injuries this year, leading to nearly 900 missed games, including 10 ACL tears. Teams like the Golden State Valkyries have been decimated, racking up over 27 separate injuries in one season. The league is struggling to protect its players, and in Clark's absence, the narrative has unraveled. Attendance numbers that once looked record-breaking now seem inflated when you strip away the Clark effect. Yes, the WNBA was on pace to surpass 2.5 million fans this year, but 1 out of every 6 tickets sold was for fans hoping to see Clark specifically. Without her, arenas are emptier, ticket prices have crashed, and the television audience is evaporating. Clark's cultural influence is so massive that it makes the rest of the league appear invisible. She's not just an athlete, she's a movement, a figure who transcends sports and drives fashion, business, and culture in ways the WNBA has never been able to engineer. Collaborations are already rolling in, with brands like Stanley lining up to attach themselves to her name. When fans see Caitlin Clark's logo on a water bottle, on a hoodie, or on a sneaker, they aren't just buying a product, they're buying into a phenomenon. And every time that happens, the gulf between Clark and the rest of the league widens. For Nike, this is exactly the plan. They've effectively built an entire women's basketball division around one person. Their commercials, their campaigns, their strategy all orbit Caitlin Clark. For the WNBA, this is terrifying. The league has been reminded that it doesn't control its own destiny anymore. One rookie does. Without her, television contracts look less valuable, arenas feel emptier, and sponsors are harder to attract. With her, everything sells out. Ratings surge, and relevance skyrockets. The truth is unavoidable. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's Magic Johnson and Larry Bird rolled into one. She doesn't need another superstar alongside her to elevate the league. She is enough on her own, and Nike knows it. The comparisons aren't even about women's basketball anymore. Her influence is being weighed against Patrick Mahomes in the NFL, Steph Curry in the NBA, and even global icons like LeBron James. And by many measures, Clark means more to her league than any of them ever did to theirs. When she finally returns from injury, it won't just be another game. It will feel like the return of a queen to her throne. The fans will flood back into the arenas, the cameras will roll, and the merchandise will fly off shelves. The moment she steps onto the court wearing that CC logo, it will mark the beginning of a new era. The WNBA can either embrace it or continue pretending they don't need her, but Nike has already made its choice. They've crowned Caitlin Clark the global face of women's basketball, and they're betting billions that she'll deliver. The panic around the league isn't really about ratings or attendance, it's about irrelevance. Every other player, no matter how skilled or decorated, is about to be reminded that professional sports isn't a democracy. It's a marketplace, and in that marketplace there are stars, and then there are supernovas. Caitlin Clark is the latter. She's not just carrying the WNBA on her back, she's redefining it, and the rest of the league is left to either keep up or get out of the way. So when Clark's logo flashes across billboards and sneakers and t-shirts sell out in minutes, it won't just symbolize a brand, it will symbolize a coronation. Nike has already placed the crown on her head, and the WNBA is left scrambling to adjust. Caitlin Clark isn't waiting for the league.